Yeah, because.
Okay.
All right, good evening. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. We are very pleased to be able to welcome you for the 2022 National Investment Challenge. My name is Summer. I'm the Program Manager and Contact Person for this project. Here with me today are my fellow colleagues, Sam from CGS CIMB, Singapore Head of HR, Associate Director from Retail, Yi-Si, Fu Guan, our mentor and trainer. And Mr. Tui Jun Moon, Director from Republic Poly, Assistant Director Mr. Teo Wee Leung, Caleb, Kaisley, Jet, and Jacqueline from Republic Poly, and with all other 9 institutions of higher learnings with us today. We are proud to announce that we have received an overwhelming responses and be able to host it today here at this wonderful moment with all of you. In today's gathering, I would like to focus on all our incoming activities and timelines for this challenge. Let's welcome our head of HR, Sam, to give us a welcome speech.
Thank you, Summer. Okay, thank you, Summer, and a very, very good evening to all of you. So as shared by my colleague Summer, we are extremely delighted to have you on this journey with us. Now, when we first conceptualized this whole program, our sole purpose was to ensure that it adds value to youth. That at the end of this whole campaign, what you take away are lifelong skills in managing your personal finances and investing for a sustainable future. After months of hard work, I'm very heartened to say that together with the wonderful and unwavering support of Republic Poly, SGX, and all the other IHLs here, we are on track to deliver that promise. And we will spare no effort to ensure that this happens. So before I pass on to Fu Guan, maybe I'll just like to share with the audience here some of the questions that came about. So some of the questions that we received are things like, why are we as a company putting in together this trading or investment challenge? Why don't we just do it without the fireside chats and without the webinars? And the simple reason is this. At CGS CIMB, we believe in investing in you, our youths, who are our future. It is who we are. It is our DNA. The whole company has worked hard to be the #1 broker in Singapore. But if you think about it, it goes beyond that. We want to be a company that believes in giving back to the community. We believe in making a difference and in nurturing our next generation. And it is precisely in this spirit of nurturing that we have put this whole program together, which brings learning beyond the classroom. And for this sole purpose, in fact, embedded in this whole campaign are actually 2 extremely rare and enriching sessions. The first one, a youth dialogue with Minister Ong, and number 2, an opening ceremony and networking session with SPS Eric Chua. Now, these are indeed two very rare opportunities. You will not get to experience this in the classroom. So from all of us here, we encourage you to attend these sessions, hear from the ministers, hear from SPS, glean their insights, and engage them on a very, very personal level in these closed-door sessions. What my colleagues are going to do is that they're going to post the link to register for these 2 sessions on the YouTube channel now. We strongly encourage you to take learning beyond the classroom, and please enroll in these programs. We believe it will be a very meaningful and insightful sessions for you guys, right? And with this, again, a very warm welcome to all of you here. Enjoy the experience and good luck in the investment challenge. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sam. Let's now hear from the director from Republic Poly, School of Management and Communication, Mr. Tui Jun Moon.
Okay, thank you, Summer. Hi, everyone. I'm Jun Man from Republic Polytechnic.
Mr. Tui, I think you are muted.
Oh, I'm muted. Let me try again. Is it all right now? Okay, good. Thank you, Summer. Hi, everyone. I'm Zhen Man from Republic Polytechnic. My polytechnic is honored to partner financial industry leader CGS CIMB Securities to jointly organize this inaugural National Investment Challenge, supported by 9 Institute of Higher Learning. To this challenge, we aim to widen students' investment knowledge and skills and to experience how digital innovations in the financial services sector can help everyone become more financially savvy. By participating in this national challenge, not only can students stand to win attractive prizes, but more importantly, students can experience a simulation of real-world trading through the Investment Challenge e-platform. I'm sure this will excite many to explore a career where you can contribute towards the digital transformation in the financial services sector. We are heartened here by the strong interest for this inaugural Investment Challenge event, and we encourage you to look out for other upcoming programs such as online training on developing a trading plan, FinLead bite-sized learning, webinars, etc. Together with CGS CIMB Securities team, we welcome you on board, and we look forward to supporting you on this exciting journey ahead. Thank you, and back to Summer, please.
Thank you, Mr. Tui. Now let's hear more from our Investment Challenge mentor and trainer, Fook Kwan. Pass to you, Fook Kwan.
Okay, thank you, Summer. And hello, everybody. Welcome to the 2022 National Investment Challenge. Hey, so waiting. Okay, so here's what we'll cover today. First up, we will talk about the dynamics of the challenge. Next, we'll go through the schedule of webinars, things to note, panel of judges, and lastly, Telegram. Telegram is where we will share everything that needs to be known. All updates information will be shown there. Okay, so first thing first, everybody wants to know how will you be graded, how to win this event. There's going to be 3 areas we look at: profit and loss, risk management, and presentation. 40% will come from P&L. That is your gain or losses. The higher your realized gains are, the higher you are scored here. The other 40% comes from risk management. What is determined by risk management? You'll find that in the webinar series. In short, risk management means that nobody can win this competition by shooting in the dark and betting all your capital into one stock. That means that even if that stock shoots for the moon, you might still lose to someone who probably made a 15% gain, but practices a very prudent risk management system. And the last 20% will come from a presentation where only the top 5 teams will be required to do so. So, if you don't know by now, you'll be trading CFDs in equity in the Singapore and the US markets. They're pretty much the same as trading in the stock market. The only difference is that CFDs allow you to take multiple positions with margin, while using lesser capital than you would to buy a stock on its own. CFD stands for contract for difference. What happens when you buy a CFD is that you are essentially owning a contract. The direct owner of the shares is the counterparty. The counterparty then charges you interest on the margin used. That is why you're able to buy $10,000 worth of shares with $1,000 on a 10% margin. Don't worry if you don't understand this yet. We'll cover it up in the upcoming webinars. You'll be using our in-house demo platform, Prosperous. That means that while the market is real, the market environment is real, the capital you use will be virtual. As such, there are certain features that will differ from a live trading account. We'll send out the login details on the 16th of September. Next, what needs to be done? First order of business, we want you to submit your trading plan to us by 28th of September. A template will be released on the 9th. You don't need to submit your plan right now, and I suggest that you at least wait till the end of the webinar on the 14th before you finalize your plan. More details on where and how to send will be sent in Telegram in the coming weeks. Again, what is a trading plan? What is needed in one will be covered in the upcoming webinars. But if you want to start ahead, you can try and Google the term and see what you get. Now, do take note that there is a specific format we want you to send this trading plan in, and more details will be released on Telegram. As you start trading, you will be required to maintain a trade journal, journaling your entries, exits, whys, etc. Details will be covered in the webinars as well, and a template will be released on Telegram at a later stage. Lastly, towards the end of the event, you will need to make sure that there are no open positions by 30th November. That means that if you buy a stock, you need to sell them by 30th November. Otherwise, we will not account it into your profit and loss, even though the stock has made 10x growth in December. So here is the flow of events. Right now, we are in August. September, we will start the webinar series. Meanwhile, in August, this time, I encourage you to do some self-studying. Search for terms like trading plan, trading strategies, interest rates, trading blocks. Take a look at Benzinga or TradingView, both excellent resources. September, we'll start the webinars, and by then you should have a clearer picture on how to approach the markets. You will start trading in October till end of November, and December is where we'll do our grading. And you'll know the result by January next year when we have our closing ceremony. Okay, so just take a moment here to screenshot this. This is the webinar schedule. Link for these websites will be uploaded onto this website above, www.cgs-cimb.com/en/investment challenge. In case you missed or unable to attend any of them, they will be recorded and uploaded. So don't worry. And you can find this schedule in Telegram as well, currently in the pinned chat. Couple of things to note. Number one, the Singapore Stock Exchange opens from 9 AM to 12 PM, followed by an hour break, and then it runs from 1 PM to 6 PM. The US market opens continuously from 9:30 PM to 4 AM. After the 6th of November, everything gets pushed back by an hour due to the shift in daylight savings. Secondly, the prices you see on the platform will be delayed 10 to 15 minutes. However, if you have other means to gain access to live pricing, then use it. Without it, it will not put you at a disadvantage over someone who has access to live pricing. Having said that, as beginners in this field, we encourage you to trade based on the daily close. For a beginner, looking at intraday price action, you may find that there's a lot of noise if you were to scrutinize every tick the market makes. The structure of this challenge is designed with the intention to trade on the daily time period. Corporate actions is when the stock gives dividends, rights issue, or maybe even a stock split. Now, because this is a demo environment, these actions will not be reflected in your book. So don't expect to receive any dividends for stock that you might hold in this challenge. Also, pay attention to news to any other corporate actions that might happen during this period before you place a trade. Again, because you'll be trading CFDs, you can choose to go short for most stocks. That means instead of buying to start the trade, you can start by selling, also known as going short. And now this is our panel of judges. First up, we have Mr. Tan Boon Jin, CEO of the Singapore Exchange Regulation. Mr. Lee Ming San, Chairman, Non-Executive Director of Seatown Holdings, also Board of Trustees at NUS. Next, Mr. Chew Su Tat, he's Chairman of Committee Chairs. And last but not least, our very own Ms. Carol Fong, our Group CEO of CGS-CIMB Securities. So in case you're not part of Telegram yet, take a moment to scan the QR here. This is the QR to our Telegram group. Webinar schedules, this is where you'll find the webinar schedules. There'll be reminders, there'll be extra reading materials, and more importantly, this is where you'll find the trading plan and trading journal templates. Okay, so I have come to the end of the brief. Let's see if there's any questions on the floor.
All right, thank you, Fok Guan. We are now open the floor for Q&A. Please type your question in the YouTube chat box. We will answer from now until 8 o'clock. And for these questions that we did not answer during these briefing sessions, not to worry, we will continue to combine with a FAQ and post it on our Telegram channel.
Okay, I see some questions coming in. I'll be addressing them one by one. Give me a moment. Okay, can we have the slides too? Yes, we will drop the slides in to Telegram. Can I use TDA? Not quite sure what TDA is. Whoever that asked that question, could you spell out what TDA stands for? What happens if I lose 99% of the portfolio on the first day of the challenge? What if we lose everything in one trade? Then I'm afraid to say you are out. Can I DRS the shares purchased on the account? Again, not very familiar with the short form used here. Whoever that asked the DRS question, could you please elaborate what DRS stands for? Hi, will this session be uploaded? Yes. So again, question on slides. Yes. Can I invest in NFTs? No, we are only investing in CFDs. CFDs for equity in Singapore and the US market. Question on the Telegram link. Our QR code has been shared, but just do type in the comment section again if you want me to flash up the QR code again. Yeah. So does it include FX on only shares? Again, this will only be shares, specifically CFDs. No FX, no NFTs, no Bitcoin, just stock in the Singapore exchange and the US exchange. Will we be trading with our own money? No, you'll be trading, if you'll be given a virtual capital of $5,000. That means this $5,000 is what we call paper trading. It's not real, it is simulated, it's virtual, but the market environment is real. Okay, DRS, direct registered shares. So can I direct register the shares purchased on the account? If I understand what you think you are saying, the answer here is no, because you are using a virtual account. The money is fake. The ownership of the shares is fake as well. The only thing that is real is the market environment. Are we allowed to buy commodities? Nope. Again, just CFDs, Singapore and US stock. Will we be taught trading strategies? All right, yes, you will not be taught specifically trading strategies per se, but you will be taught how to construct your trading strategies. So imagine trading strategy as like a way to cook a fish, example, right? And there's many ways you can cook a fish. You can steam a fish, you can boil a fish, you can fry a fish. So a trading strategy in that analogy would be to steam a fish, example. Teochew steam fish is a strategy, right? Now, we won't teach you that specific strategy, but we will teach you what is a fish, how to scale a fish, what are the different methods to cook a fish. And then on, you will be you'll be taught what you need to know, and then you will construct your own strategy. So what if we differ from trading plan? What if you differ from trading plan? As much as possible, try not to differ from trading plan, because that is where risk management comes into play. Example, let's say I plan to use 10% of my capital per trade for every trade. And I plan to only trade stocks that are moving up 10% the last day. Now, when you are in this situation, right, you will find yourself in a FOMO situation. Maybe you start to read some blog read some forum and everybody's hyping about this new stock that is going to jump 2000%. Are these the kind of scenarios that you'll be thinking you'll deviate away from your trading plan? Most likely not. But the reason why a trading plan is there is for you to stick to it. There will be times that you'll be tempted to deviate from your trading plan and just take a gamble on this trade. But just because this is a virtual environment does not mean that you should be gambling. So you make a plan, you plan for all the possible scenarios, you plan for all the outcomes, and you follow your plan. There's no change in market time, right? As daylight saving is now made permanent. Don't quite understand what you mean there. Daylight savings for the US markets will happen on 6th of November, so only then everything will be shifted back by an hour. But Singapore-wise, everything will stay the same all through the year. Do all webinars and events can be accessed? All webinars, event can be accessed. Yes, they can be accessed and they are recorded online as well. What's a good resource to learn more about investing? Okay, so as I shared earlier, you can take a look at Benzinga. That's spelled Benzinga, Benzinga. The free version is quite a good resource itself. Next, you can just take a look at TradingView. Otherwise, just Google the word. Now, I see that there are a lot of questions pertaining to strategies and like wanting to know more. My suggestion to you is this. Now, for the month of August, you just plainly Google these words. I know it's a big topic. I know it's very broad, but just plainly Google them, see what you get. Down in September, we're going to have some webinars, and one of them is Ask Me Anything, and there's and fireside chats. Now, this is where you use fireside chats to ask the panelists these questions. So right now, right, you know that you need to know some things. You don't know what you don't know. Now, once you start to Google, you start to research them, you start to search these broad topics, you start to know what you don't know. And then you make use of the fireside chats events to ask our panelists, our speakers these questions. Do we need to get any apps? No, you don't need to get any apps. Everything will be done. Everything will be done online. Is it like we trade with our money, then the judge grade? No, technically it's not your money. Again, virtual environment, fake money, fake accounts, real environment, and then the judges will grade. So the judges will grade the last 20%. 40% of the grade comes from P&L. Another 40% comes from risk management. And then some of you might ask, what is risk management? Risk management is a huge topic. You can try to Google that to see what you get. But we'll also cover what is risk management in the upcoming webinars. Can we have margin access? In a way, indirectly, yes, there will be margin access because you will be trading CFDs. CFDs are leverage. Of course, you'll be taught how to manage leverage properly. Yeah. So that in its essence is having margin. Can a person participate without a team? Yes, you can. You can join solo as well as a team, but I'm afraid it might be too late to be asking this question because our registration have closed. However, if you have joined as a team as before and 3 of your teammates are what we call sleeping investors, yeah, it's still all right. You can manage this on your own. Is risk management based mainly on technical analysis on the stocks? Okay, this yes and no. A huge part of risk management is a broad topic, you see. Now, I don't want to go into detail here, otherwise I might be starting a webinar on risk management myself, and which, by the way, there will be a webinar on risk management. So in short, risk management is a couple of things. Risk management is about your position sizing. How many shares are you buying? It's about your loss management. It's about your bankroll management, and it's about your margin management. Technical analysis plays a part of risk management. It is a subset of it. You need some degree of technical analysis to understand, to manage risk. How much time do we have to roughly spend each day on this challenge. Now, we will not grade you based on how much time you spend on the market. You could spend 8 hours online, or you could spend 5 minutes online. It's not a requisite. It's not a prerequisite here. We are not grading you based on screen time. Are there any commissions involved? Yes, there is. There are commissions for each trade. Again, in the webinar series, Tools of the Trade. Tools of the Trade, we will teach you, it's a webinar where we'll teach you on how to use the platform, where to look out for what things, and then there'll also be a breakdown on commissions before you start to look at the trade. Can we use our own trading platform? No, unfortunately, then it will be hard to track. So we'll be using our own in-house platform with our own simulator environment and our own accounts. Again, details of the login details will be sent out on the 16th of September. Before that, so between 16th of September till the actual start of the event, you will have time to play around, to click around, to explore, this does what does what. So don't worry, you have time to do that. And then when the event starts on the 3rd of November, the 3rd of October, when the event starts, everything will be reset back to $5,000 and you will start the competition. If I'm a super beginner and quite clueless on investing, will there be an issue when attending the dialogue with Minister Ong? Absolutely not. Right, this is designed for everybody, anybody and everybody, whether you know nothing or know everything. Okay, what's the highest someone has brought that 5K to? And it's honestly quite hard to say in this time and age. As we've seen recently, how the market swings is pretty crazy. Before 2020, we only seen at most maybe market stock will swing up like 20-30% a day. But now we have stocks like recently the Majestic, this another stock code HKD, it's a US stock, and last but not least, everybody's favorite GameStop, where you see the stock price jump 1,000, 2,000%. 2,000% means if the stock is traded at $1, the next day it closed at $2,000. That's mad. So it's really hard to tell you how much highest, how much even if I give you a figure right now, who knows, towards the end of the year, you might see some crazy swings again. Can we buy penny stocks? Yes, you can, but you may or may not find that penny stock as a CFD. Now, what stock is available for trade, what stock is not? If you go into the Telegram, you click on documents, you're able to see an entire list of what is available, what is not. Now, again, because this is a demo environment, and because these are CFDs, not everything under the sun is available. Oh, give me a moment, let me catch my breath. Okay, what about traders who trade based on speculation from the news? Would submission of sources which we use to direct or trading mitigate the loss of points on our risk management? Wait, let me reread this again. What about traders who based on speculation from the news who submission? Okay, I get what it means. That means you are trading purely based on speculation from the news. Okay, then in that case, there will be no loss of points on risk management. But in your trading plan, it must state that. Okay, so again, I will not go into detail, otherwise I will start a webinar here myself. But what is one of the essence of a trading plan is how will you pick your stocks? And just to give you a few examples, you could pick your stock. Example, you could say that I will only trade large cap, or you could say I will only trade stocks that have moved 10% in the past week. And so if you were to trade based on this, then in your trading plan, you need to say that I will trade stocks that have appeared on the news, example, what website, based on what kind of conditions, then I will trade the stock. So if you want to trade the market based on this kind of arrangement, yes, you can. There will be no deduction of points as long as it's part of your plan. Will buying meme stocks affect our marks? No, it will not. But again, it has to be part of your plan. Meaning, if your plan, example, if your plan was to say like I will trade only large cap, and you end up trading a meme stock that's a penny, then that is a minus of points on your part, because you said that in your plan you trade large cap and you end up trading penny stocks. Do we have access to level 2 market data? Unfortunately not. And demo environment, the market data is delayed 10 to 15 minutes. However, if, like I said earlier, if you have access to level 2 market data, you may use them. And for those of you out there who have no access to level 2 market data, it will not put you at a disadvantage still. For those who are wondering what is level 2 market data, level 2 market data is basically what we call the time and sales. I don't want to spend too much time to explain time and sales. You could Google that term. That is TIME, time, and SALES, time and sales. That's level 2 market data. Some people call it reading the tape. Are there any trading fees involved when making trades? Yes, I believe I covered that already. Is the market investing be SGD, USD, or any markets, or as long as it's either SGD or USD? Or any market as long as it's either SGD or USD. Okay, it is the former, not the latter, all right? It's not any markets. You're only restricted to the Singapore or the US stock markets. How are we judged? And also, do we need to attend at a location for judging? Okay, so you will be the first level of judging will be done on our side at the back end. We have because this is our platform, right? You see, so we have access to everybody's accounts and your movements and such. So the first round of judging will be done there, right? Once we pick the top 5 winners, then the top 5 will be invited down to our office at a later date at the physical venue where they will be required to do a presentation. Again, what is needed in this presentation, what will be shown in this presentation, essentially is your trade journal. So everybody is expected to do a trade journal. Now, I know you might be thinking like, hey, what if I do not win? Then what's the point of doing a trade journal? Well, a trade journal is your pot of gold. A trade journal is quite a priceless thing. If you genuinely want to get better at this, if you genuinely want to improve at this, you need a trade journal. So even if you do not win, right, at the end of the challenge, the thing you take home with is you know yourself a little bit better. And with a trade journal that you've done, you know how to make your plan better. Can we build a Python script for the trading plan? That's no lah. When we start using Prosperous to trade, when can we start using Prosperous to trade? Okay, so again, as I mentioned, account details will be released on the 16th of September. Between 16th of September to the 3rd of October, you can play around, try testing, see you can click what, etc., stuff like that. Whether you make money or you lose money doesn't matter, because on the actual start date of 3rd of October, everything will be reset. Are there fractional shares? Okay, the direct question is no, there will be no fractional shares, but because you are trading CFDs, you will not be required upfront capital. You will not be required 100% as your upfront capital. Now, example, imagine a stock that costs $2,000 and you want to buy 1 share, right? With CFDs, right, you will not be paying $2,000 for that 1 share. Supposedly, that is the CFD on this is a 10% margin. $2,000, 10%, that's $200. That means you only need $200 upfront to buy 1 share of that $2,000 stock. Now, more details on how to look at margin, how to calculate margin will be covered in the webinars. Are we able to make changes to trading plan risk management due to unforeseen events that occurred? Example, political factors. The short answer is no. That is why your trading plan should cover for everything. Now, if you are concerned that this is part of the things that might change, you should so your trading plan should be conditional. So conditional meaning like, example, not a trading plan, but just giving you an example. I will have zi char for lunch. But if it rains, I will order Mac. If the surcharge is too high, I will eat bread. Example, right? So you think about all the possible scenarios there are and count it into your trading plan. Will you teach us how to plan and what to plan for? Yes, we will. It will be covered in the webinars. We are not limited to any companies. We are not limited to any company. You mean, are we limited to any companies? No, you're not. But again, there is a list on Telegram. Go under documents, go under file share. You see a PDF list of stocks. What is there. What is not there, it's not there. Is the trading platform similar to Investopedia Stock Simulator? I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Investopedia Stock Simulator, but not to worry. How to use the platform, where to click what, how to place an order will be covered in a webinar called Tools of the Trade. Are we able to change from teams to solo? Unfortunately, not as well. This events registration has been closed, so who you are is who you are, will be with. Where's the link to the webinar? The link is on Telegram. You can find it on the pin chat. Later I will flash the in fact, the Telegram is being flashed up now, right? Yes, so scan the QR, join Telegram, and from Telegram you'll find everything. Will the Prosperous account be a shared account with the whole team? Yes, it is a shared account with the whole team. So if you are a team of 4, you will only receive 1 login. And unfortunately, not all 4 people can log in at the same time. I believe that's what most accounts are like. You can log in on one device, sign out and log in on another device. Yes, that you can do, but I would advise you to, I know that most of us, when we want to get out of something, we just click X and get out, right? This, I advise you to click log out. Now, the reason why, this is a very technical thing. This is because every time you close X, right, the cache in the system does not register the close properly. So next time when you want to open the browser again, you might come up with an error that, page not found, missing page. That's when you need to clear your cache and then you can log in again. The problem with clearing your cache is that sometimes you lose your safe passwords and stuff like that. For beginners that are newly exposed to trading, is there any websites that we can refer to help us? Yes, as I shared earlier, you can take a look at tradingview.com. That's tradingview.com. And you can also look at Benzinga, Benzinga. Benzinga. Can we buy partial shares? Example, 5K cannot buy Amazon share. And I believe I covered that already. Can we short stocks? Yes, you can. Would IPOs be excluded from this challenge? That's right. For the nature of this challenge, there will not be IPOs. So we are marked down if we differ from plan. That is, in short, yes, you will be marked down if you differ from a plan. But again, it depends on, you see. Again, let me give you an example of a big markdown versus a small markdown. A big markdown would be like, I plan to risk 1% of my capital for each trade. And if I'm wrong, I will get out. So that's your plan. But what you actually did was you took a stop loss of 1%. As the stock traded lower, you drag the stop loss down lower, or you added more into the stock, and you end up losing more and more and more. Or if your plan is, let's say, I will not risk more than 40% of my capital on leverage, but you end up going 90% leverage. This is a big markdown. A small markdown would be like, let's say I plan to trade either 100 shares or 5% of my total equity, and you end up trading something that is 5.26%. That's, this rounding difference will not mark you down for that. I'm talking about huge deviation from your trading plan. If my trading plan says I will trade every stock on the exchange, does that mean I will never lose mark since I cannot deviate from the plan? Can. No, not wrong. You could go ahead and say that I will trade every single stock on the exchange. But then again, when it comes to risk management, maybe someone else. So imagine two scenarios, two people, and one says that both equal P&L, right? Now, one says, I'll trade everything that is tradable on the exchange. Another one said that, okay, I will trade specifically this. Why? Because, example, like I will trade only profitable shares. I will trade companies with a good PE ratio, or I will trade companies that has a good historical dividend, stuff like that. Who am I going to give points more to? I will give points to someone who with a more detailed plan. Is the trade journal done individual as a group? It is done as, so obviously if you're individual, you do it individually, but if you're in a group, you will do it as a group. So what needs to be done in the trade journal, again, it'll be covered in the webinars. How you guys organize the work, that's up to the group. How do we know if our trading plan is good enough? Okay, so in the webinars, we will cover that. We will cover what you need to think about in the trading plan. So in the meantime, right, I suggest you go and Google, search online, what is a trading plan, what is needed in trading plan, so that when the webinar about trading plan comes and it's time for Q&A, you have a better idea of what you want to ask or what you need to ask. But then again, the webinars is done by an SGX trainer. She herself is an experienced teacher, or speaker, so to say, and she will teach you what needs to be considered, everything in a trading plan. Just checking the list of stocks available is the stock instrument list file. You know what? Give me a moment. Let me look at it again. For my phone. Never mind. Can I see a Telegram? Wait, is it called the stock instrument list file? Give me a moment. Let me look at it again. It is called the CGS-CIMB_ yes, instrument list file. That's right. Are there indicators like VWAP, Ichimoku, etc.? Yes, there are indicators. At this point, I do not remember exactly what indicators there are. Yes, there's Ichimoku, there is a VWAP as well, but VWAP is okay, VWAP, volume weighted average price, right, is only applicable if you're looking at intraday. So if you're trading off the daily time frame, right, the VWAP is essentially the average closing price. There's no point trading VWAP on the daily time frame. VWAP is only in intraday. VWAP is the intraday thing, like, basically. Again, there's no wrong using VWAP if you have access to live price. Can this be included in my LinkedIn profile? Yes, you can include this on your LinkedIn profile. Can loss in short reduce my overall capital? Can loss in short reduce my overall capital? I don't quite understand. You mean, are you talking about losses in shorting? As in when you're shorting the market and you lose, can it reduce your overall capital? The short answer is yes. A loss is a loss. Tell us about your own biggest gain. Is option trading allowed? Okay, option trading is not allowed. Again, you are only allowed to trade in CFDs, US stocks and Singapore stocks. Now, tell you guys about my biggest gain. Okay, my own biggest gain is something that is not a plan. And if you speak to, I myself speak to most traders, their own biggest gains are also mostly accidental mistakes. Things like they forget to close a position, or like just like some super volatile news. My own biggest gain this year, again, this is a black swan event. It doesn't happen all the time. My own biggest gain this year was not in the stock market. It was in crypto. When what's that coin that went from $40 to Luna? Yes, Luna. Yeah, my biggest gain was when Luna plummeted. And just when I happened to be looking at my phone, I said, I'll just buy a little bit of Luna. And then it bounced back up again. I sold it. That was pure gambling. When I bought $100 of Luna, I was preparing to lose it all because, it's crypto. That's my biggest gain this year. My biggest gain in the stock market was trading this stock called Samudera Shipping. Samudera Shipping is a Singapore stock. It is also listed in Indonesia. And how I gained from that was so in Indonesia, in the Indonesia exchange, they are required to report their earnings quarterly. In Singapore, they only report their earnings half yearly. So you see the opportunity here. That you could get a gauge of whether Samudera would make money or not, because let's say we are in June, right? Let's say we are in September in the Singapore's and trading the Singapore stock. You only know whether if Samudera is making money by January next year because they report half yearly. But Samudera in Indonesia report earnings quarterly. So by September, I would know how much money they've made. Now, using that as a gauge, I would say Samudera is expecting to make a lot of money. And apart from that, at the point of time, we also know that our PSA port is constantly congested. We know that shipping routes are congested due to COVID. So that itself contributes to the possibility that Samudera Shipping is making money. Now, when the results did came out, the results was positive. It was up, I don't know, like 3-4 times than last year. But of course, the stock didn't just shoot up immediately. The stock took time to react, and then over time it grew twice the amount to 230 something percent. So can we buy ETFs to manage our risk better? Yes, again, if ETF is in the list, you can buy it. What kind of orders does the trading platform have? Example, stop limit order. Okay, so just to name a few, there are market orders, limit order, stop limit order. You have your usual take profit, stop loss, amongst other things. All this will be covered in the webinar called Tools of the Trade. Okay, I believe I have come to the end of the questions. Let me just skim through one more time. If I missed any, please don't be afraid to just type it again. Since we are using margin, is there margin call? Yes, there'll be margin call. And in the webinar called Tools of the Trade, you'll be taught how to read that. Can we consult the speaker during the after training hours? Can we consult the speaker? Sir, please tell us your biggest single loss as well. Okay, one thing at a time. Can we consult the speaker during the after training hours?
Or as access to the webinar speakers?
Okay. That depends on which speaker.
No, I think you can let them know the networking event on SPS Eric Chua.
That's the 16th, right? Yeah.
16th September.
Yeah. So on 16th September, you can have access to the speakers, so to say. Yeah, and 4th September, where there will be a networking event after the ceremonies. My biggest loss was back when I was a student. I opened a FX trading account, and I just learned some simple rules about technical analysis, like buy at support, sell at resistance. And someone showed me a few charts that see support, you could buy here and you sell here. How to draw support? You draw a line here, you draw a line here, and you look at this indicator. Here cross this means buy, here cross this means sell. And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to be rich. Went in, and within like 3 months, lost all my money. That's not a single biggest loss, but collectively, that is a loss event. Has beginners won the competition before?
They can after they go through your lesson.
Yeah, I mean, after you, if you're talking about if you're a complete greenhorn, like you don't know anything at all, could you possibly win? Yes, you could, because this webinars and everything is designed for that purpose. Of course, things that people that through this webinar, like you hear the speaker say, okay, go read up about this, go Google about this, you should do it, because if you want to excel. We will be prepped sufficiently such that we have a chance in the challenge, right? Yes, that's right. Now, this challenge is fair in all ways. Now, if this challenge, if like most traditional trading investment challenges, right, they will give you 100K virtual capital, and the person with the highest P&L wins. This is unfair because if somebody happened to be just so lucky to chance upon GameStop, for example, back then when GameStop was trading a few dollars, it just so happened you're so lucky to be trading GameStop, and GameStop shoots for the moon, and then you get like 80 times your return. Would this guy be a winner? No, right? That's unfair. So we incorporate an element of risk management in. So in risk management, we want you to say, this is my trading plan. I will trade my trading plan. I executed my trading. So even if your whole account overall, you only made about, example, you make a 10% gain of your overall account by the end of the challenge, and somebody made a 40% gain. If you practice very prudent risk management, we might still award more marks to someone who has that 10% gain over somebody with a 40% gain with no risk management. Because without risk management, what are you doing? You're gambling. Are we allowed to review how many people? Am I allowed to review how many people teams registered for this, since you said that you have had an overwhelming response this year to see where each of us stand in this pool? I can't tell you how many people are there. There's over 1.2 thousand people in this. How many teams are there? That's a bit difficult for me to say, because I need to look at the Excel. I need to count individual team. So can we just leave it at that? It's over 1,200 people. Will there be a live feed of which teams are in the lead, etc.? No, unfortunately, there will not be a live feed of which teams are in the lead, because you see, market prices changes every day. And the biggest takeaway of this year is not who to make the most money. Like I said, you could make 40% gain, but if you don't practice prudent risk management, somebody with a 5% gain will still win you. So being in the lead P&L does not guarantee you the winner. What is the highest amount ever grown from the 5K account in this competition? I believe I answered that earlier. If the team does well for this competition, are they entitled to anything else besides cash prizes? Example, the regional one. Mentorship, cash prizes, yeah.
The regional challenge next year.
Yeah, so after this, there's a bigger challenge. So right now it's the Singapore challenge. Just to touch this on the surface level, don't want to go into too deep on it. Next year there will be a regional challenge. So this is the bigger part of it. Okay, so as we are coming to 8 p.m., there will be the next upcoming webinar is called where you could ask anything, literally ask anything. It's called Ask Me Anything. Ask Me Anything is happening on let's see. It's happening on 5th of September. So I would urge you to take this time between now and then, go search for these terms that I tell you about, search about trading strategies, search about portfolio management, search about, everything under the sun. If you have questions, accumulate them and ask them during this webinar called Ask Me Anything. Then yes. So judging by how many questions there are right now, I'm saying that if everybody were to ask everything on that day itself, it's going to be a bit overwhelming. So if for those who have questions right now, you could send in the questions first. Send it to our email with the format. In a moment. Let me just find it. Okay, so our email address is this: csi.investmentchallenge together at cgs-cimb.com with the subject AMAT capital dash your team name space your school and followed by your question. Now, closing date is 12th of August, which is tomorrow. So anything that you want to ask about investment related question or strategies, you could ask in this and your answers will be answered on the webinar on the 5th of September. Ask me anything. Okay, so where was I with the questions? You said that the back-end teams will be selected from the presentation. It is based on P&L. Okay, again, the teams that will be selected for the presentation will be the top 5 teams. To determine the top 5 teams, it will be based on P&L first, and secondly, risk management. So essentially, the top 5 teams, once the top 5 teams is out, the presentation is just to determine who is first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. What is the most leverage available so I can write my trading plan? Okay, the most leverage available is, again, if you look at the list, right? The most leverage available is 10%. So for a $2,000 stock, you will need $200. For $200 stock, you need $20. Again, different stocks have different margin. Once you get the accounts on 16th of September, then you can start to see, how do you want to manage it. And sorry, my colleague just corrected me. The total sign up is 1,750. Okay, so it's getting late and I believe we're all hungry right now. So I'll pass this over to Summer.
All right, thank you, Fok Guan. Thank you everyone for attending this briefing session. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all of you to help us to make this event come together to become a success. We couldn't have done this without you. Jointly organized by CGS-CIMB and Republic Poly, the National Financial Literacy Campaign is an initiative aimed to empowering Singapore students with lifelong skills in managing their personal finance and investing for a sustainable future. Okay, good luck to everyone on the investment challenge. Have a good evening and see you in our upcoming events.